I'm going to walk through the final designs for suggested reviewers to help kind of illustrate when the section will be collapsed and expanded, which we do automatically in a few different scenarios. And also this, I said final, but it's subject to change. But this is the general design that was received fairly well in user testing. So we're going to move forward with this. So the first scenario is you come to your merge request, and this is probably pretty common if you just open a merge request. This is what you're probably going to see. The reviewer section still says 0 if you haven't assigned anybody, and the suggested reviewer section, which is the new portion, is automatically collapsed. And the reason for that is because we don't have any suggestions yet, and I am unsure of the exact reasons when that would happen. I'm pretty sure it's dependent on a pipeline finishing, or potentially this model is updating and it could take maybe quite a while to populate that section. So we'll auto collapse it so users will know the feature exists, but it's not adding to the visual clutter. If you expand it, you can see no suggestions yet. And then if you click Y, it should take you to the section within the documentation, which has yet to be added. And that section would describe all of the reasons why the suggestions might not be available yet. On that same note, actually, there is another scenario I have a question about, and it has to do with an error state that I'm unsure about. I created this a while ago. If there is something that goes wrong, maybe we have a different error state, and there's a button to retry, which would theoretically kickstart a new pipeline. I don't know if that's feasible or necessary, just an idea. So moving along, once the suggestions do populate, they should show up here. If this has been collapsed, which it is, it's automatically collapsed at first if there's no suggestions, it should auto expand as soon as this populates. So people probably won't see that happening, but if they are staring at it, they will see it expand, and then these will show up. The hover states for some of the items are here. This is a tooltip on the add button, which is request review. And this is a popover that will explain a little bit more about suggested reviewers, and it will link to the documentation. Once a reviewer has been added from the suggestions, or if they've just manually added the reviewer of their choice, this is another area where we're going to do some auto collapsing, because chances are, if as a user I have decided that I want this person to be my reviewer, and then I leave the merge request, or if I refresh it or do anything like that, and then when I come back to it, I don't need to see these anymore. Chances are I've assigned that one person because I just want that one person. So if there are any reviewers assigned and then the page is reloaded in any way, then it should auto collapse. So if you do want to go back and see those suggestions, then you can expand it and add them again. And if this person, which was a suggestion, is removed, then it should go back to, it should be re-added to the suggestions, I think. Actually, don't quote me on that. And then I think the last state for the sidebar is the drop-down, and this is an existing drop-down for reviewers. The only addition is at the top, we have a separate section that says suggestions. They'll appear at the top, and then the rest of it will show up like normal. And I think I have a better example here. So yeah, suggestions are here, and then the rest of the project members are here. The other place where we're going to add suggestions is in the Create Merge Request page. This, I believe, is not, well, in my opinion, it's not necessary for the MVC, but if we do want to add this eventually, and it might be a good opportunity to get more usage of the feature, we can add it in the Create Merge Request page where people are we already have this reviewers drop down, so it kind of makes sense to add the suggestions as well. So this design hasn't been very well thought out or validated because it's not part of the MVC, but it basically looks the same as a sidebar. You can add them they show up here in the reviewer section like normal. If there are none, then we'll auto collapse it here. Or if you've already added, well, no, that's the only time it would be auto collapsed, I guess. It's not super important right now because, well, I don't know if these will be populated for a while because I think it's waiting on a pipeline to finish. So if you're looking at this merge request page, you might have to sit here for a while to get that to populate. And I doubt anyone's going to wait on this page for that to happen. And it also happens that, at least internally, most developers would like to check their merge request once it's been created, check the code, the commits, fill out all the rest of the details in their own time, and wait for the entire pipeline to pass before they submit it for a review. So this part's not as important, but it's here anyway. I think that just about covers it. So yeah, please ask me or reach out if you have any questions regarding the design, and I'd be happy to answer them. Thanks.